Alright.
The dog's barking this morning. Good morning for Islay Mist. Although it's Kansas Mist and not Islay Mist. Still functions. It's a nice foggy morning. Not sitting at the table. Everything is wet. But this morning I'm bringing Islay Mist 12. The Islay Mist 12 is a lot different beast than the Islay Mist 8. There is a definitive difference though. I got this one on sale at a very cheap price. I don't remember where I got it, but I only paid $19.99 for this one. And I bought it on the same day I bought this one. But that day I shopped several liquor stores. And I want to say I shopped in Kansas, Nebraska line. I was buying some things up in Nebraska that day. Then I would venture down to Kansas and was buying some things in Kansas. So I can't tell you which one came from which. But when I found this one, I was rather impressed by the price of $19.99 for 12. When I remembered this, just like 2 hours before I'd paid $24 for an 8-year-old. Anyway, and I do got the box for this one still around. And it's a see-through box, blended. Box was a little beat up looking, and it has a WWA 08 World Whiskey Awards best blended Scotch 12 years, and that's it was also a Jim Murray pick. I think he gave it 90 points if I remember correctly. So if I'm thinking correctly on this one, and I believe I am. And this has been several years ago. It wasn't recent to my knowledge anyway. Anyway, let's get it poured. And it's a very different beast than this one. Now, I'm going to just do a loose comparison because we are talking, both are blends, both are from Macduff International. This screw top, that's a cork on that one. But they're both very different animals. I'm using the top of this because it's convenient for this morning. That's why I'm doing it. But even if we compare, it's got to have both caramel color and chill filtering because it makes no mention of either on the label. This one is slightly darker, carrying almost that slight orangey, amber orange, little slight orangey hue to it. This one's a little more to the golden side. I got my notes down in front. This one has a higher percentage of Lefroy in it. It doesn't talk about any other constituents in it, just Lefroy. But I can tell you, just off the nose, much higher level of Lefroy in this one than that one. Oh. Peat, medicinal iodine. It's a little earthy. There's a little apple, a little peach. And it has some spice in it too. Allspice, coriander. Coriander really kind of comes through on the nose. But the peat does kind of dominate in the nose. I tend to get that rather well. And it's that Band-Aid, iodine sort of peat that comes through. And I didn't look at the legs on it. Maybe I should have. Talked about color, 40% alcohol by volume. I think I mentioned it, but it does have an oily content. Legs run fairly well. They're fairly oil. You can hear the condensation on the tree leaves as it drips and rattles down through as it starts to warm up this morning. But that Band-Aid iodine note's very dominant. For peaty blend, this one is a peaty blend. There is definitely no hunting it. It's there. There's no faintness. It's there. Is it as strong as a single malt? Probably not. But I don't know what a school bus is doing on a Saturday morning. That's weird. That's about it on the nose. Peach is very faint. The apple comes through. It's got just a slight fruitiness, but that earthy, peaty, medicinal, and that coriander really kind of makes itself known. Palate. Again, nice smoky note to it, band-aidy. Fruits come through a little better on the palate. It's a little more citrus oriented on the palate. There's still a little bit of apple there, but you get much more of a bitter orange. Bitter orange is definitely there on this one. There's a honey note. The grain comes through in a barley sugar. The grain's very tempered in this one. You don't get the strong, I don't get the dominating grain note like that one. But there is definitely a barley sugar, barley grain note. There is a honey sweetness too there. That's nice. That backs it all up. It's malty. This one's everything a peaty blend should be, in all honesty. To me, anyway. Because it brings enough peat that it's up there in your face, and it hides maybe some of the imperfections in the backside that you don't notice, but it still doesn't dominate to the point that you don't get the fruitiness and the sweetness. Now, what I also like about this, as it goes through the backside of the palate, I get a little fudge note to it. A little chocolate fudge. The sweetness stays through it. And the peat lasts from beginning to end of finish. There is a little fudginess that does develop in it. I like this one. It transitions very well. It gives you a good peat punch. Even with the peatiness, it still maintains a balance. A good balance with it. Between the grains, the malts, and the Isleys. And I'm separating the malts from the Isleys, but, you know, the grains being grain whiskey, obviously, the malts being mostly Speyside malts, maybe a Highland in there, because we're getting just a little bit of vanilla as well. Not a lot, just a little touch of vanilla in there. Still maintains the spiciness too. Let coriander last through the whole experience. I like this one. Now, this may not work. We're going to try this though. This is good. In fact, I don't even know if I mentioned it on the last one. There is a slight nuttiness to this one. This is better balanced. More peat, more balance. This one's a little less complicated, but it's still good. I still like this one. And I like this one. They each kind of run their own little gambit. I prefer the 12, I'll be honest, to the 8. But, all being said, I got an extraordinarily good deal on this, and I'm not going to, and I do that. I shop around. I might see 5 or 6 of these bottles at whatever price they normally come out, and then I walk into a shop and they got it on sale, and there's a sale rack, and I go, that's what I want right there. It's just a matter of sticking your nose in enough stores and shopping around enough that, and don't get over the moon and think, I'm never going to see another one and buy this one when I see it. There are whiskeys you have to do that with, and these are not those whiskeys. This is fair. I've seen this even in Wichita. This one, I'm not sure. I don't know where I've seen it before, but being 330.19 on both of them. They were both bought the same day, but they were definitely bought at different stores. That much I do remember. And obviously, price range difference. I was surprised to see them too. I'm getting way off topic here. Score for this one. This is an 88 out of 100. I think Jim Murray gave it a 90. I'm not going to go quite that high, but it's got a nice, good blended Scotch note. I mean, it's a very good blended Scotch, and I think 88 sits fine. I don't know. Another day it might even score a little bit higher. It's definitely enjoyable. It's definitely worth the money. What would I pay for it outside the $19.99 range? Oh, I'd pay up to $29.99 for this if I seen it for that price. I think it's worth $29.99, maybe even $34.99. Honestly, I think up to $30 to $35 mark, I think would be worth price range for this for me. This one not so much. I think the $24 is pretty much where it's at. That's about all I got to say. So everyone have a wonderful morning. Remember, the spirit in your glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip, enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Everyone have a wonderful morning. Such a nice drinker. 40%. I'm surprised it does as well as it does at 40%. See you later.